The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good afternoon. My name is Ron Juckert. Welcome to the program for this 13th day of November 2023 in our traditional World Series Game 2 from Atlanta. If you were with us on Friday or whenever I did Game 1, 16 innings for these two teams, Atlanta and Baltimore, the top two records in Major League Baseball in 2023, going at it. The Braves down 5-2, force extra, and then we play, and then the Braves pull it out in the 16th to win the opener 6-5. Max Fried gets the call today for Atlanta. He only threw 77 and 2/3 in real life, but he really is probably their best pitcher outside of as far as experience goes and all that. He went 8-1 with a 2.55 ERA in his limited experience in 2023. Gibson gets a call for the Orioles. He could go about 90 pitches. The starters need to go as long as they can because everybody pitched a Game 1. The good news for both of these teams is it's a game off, or day off between games 2 and 3. The bad news is Baltimore doesn't really have a set closer, and everyone got used the other day. So with all that, let's get to it, shall we? It's time for game number 2. As Retro Sports Network presents the 2023 Traditional World Series. Today from Truist Park in suburban Atlanta, Georgia, it is the Atlanta Braves and the Baltimore Orioles. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you doing, John? And let's go O's is what the cry from the crowd. Max Fried, who gets the call for Atlanta. The lefty is 28 years old, in the prime of his career. 14 starts, 8-1, a 2.55 ERA. He is a fastball pitcher. He doesn't even throw it that hard for a modern fastball pitcher. 89. And a ground ball pitcher. Here's the Oriole lineup for you in Game 2. Aaron Hicks leads off in center for Baltimore. Urias, the DH, will bat second. The American League Rookie of the Year, Gunnar Henderson, will hit third and play third. Santander in right cleans up. 80 Roishman behind the plate bats fifth. Ryan Mountcast at first goes sixth. Hayes in left bats seventh. Westberg at second, eighth, and Mateo at short will bat ninth. Gibson will go about 90 pitches. Defensively for Atlanta, on this kind of a cloudy, dreary night, 66 degrees, good chance of rain. Marcell Ozuna, a 3 and a 3 in left. Harris, a 7 and a 7 in center. Acuna Jr., a 7 and an 8 in right. Riley at 8 at third. Arcia, a 7 at second. Ozzie Albies a 7 at, or Arcia a 7 at short. Albies a 7 at second. Matt Olson a 9 at first. Sean Murphy behind the plate an 8 in the 6th, and Fried is a 9 on the mound with an 867 fielding percentage. Thanks, great show. That was a fun one to do, and I feel the icy chill of a buggy whip. Aaron Hicks went 2 for 5 in Game 1. Walked twice, scored, and stole a base. And Fried starts Game 2 with a fly ball to left. Ozuna doesn't have to move very much, 1 out. So here's Urias. Urias struck out twice and went 0 for 3. Fried can go about 100 pitches. If he's good, that should get him into the 7th. Gibson 6 max at 90. Urias, ground ball, left side, base hit. So Ozuna, how you doing, Bernie? Fields it, and the Orioles had their first hit of the ball game. Here's Gunnar Henderson. What a story in Game 1. He went 5 for 7. He wins the American League Rookie of the Year. He had a double, a home run, 2 RBI, 3 singles. He scored and struck out twice. So feast or famine for Henderson. But this kid has a bright future ahead. Lefty versus lefty here. Gunnar hits a ground ball. Albies in on the grass. Only play is to first, and Henderson's retired. So Urias goes on to second. 2 out for Santander. Anthony 2 for 7 in game 1 with a solo homer. He struck out 3 times. Fried, 2 out. Delivers. Got him. So a good inning for Fried. The Orioles get a hit, and that's it. After half an inning, it's Baltimore nothing. Here come the Braves. And so here's a wild card for the Orioles. The experienced Kyle Gibson. He's 35. He did go 15-9, but has an ERA of 4.73. He is a fastball pitcher at 87 and a ground ball pitcher. But again, hoping some experience will settle Baltimore down, and of course, they go home after this game. Ronald Acuna Jr. will lead off in right field. Sean Murphy behind the plate, batting second. Matt Olson at first will go third. Ozzie Albies cleans up at second. Marcelo Zuna in left will bat fifth. Riley at third goes sixth. Harris, the second, will play center and bat seventh. He, I believe, batted ninth in game 1. Arcia at short, eighth. And Rosario, the DH, will bat ninth. And Fried threw 13 pitches in his half of the first. Defensively for the Orioles, Hayes a 7 and a 7 in left. Hicks a 5 and a 7 in center. Santander a 7 and a 6 in right. Henderson a 6 at third. Mateo a 7 at short. Westberg a 7 at second. Mountcastle a 7 at first. That's a pretty good infield. Royschman a 7 and a 5 behind the plate, and Gibson is a 7 on the mound with a .971 fielding percentage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 sevens on the defense. So go find. You're not at work. Go find your bottle of Seagrams and a bottle of 7-Up and enjoy a 7 and a 7 as you enjoy all these sevens. Acuna went 2 for 7 in game 1. A home run and 2 RBI. Gibson starts game 2 with a line drive to left that will drop in front of Hayes for a single. And that'll bring up Sean Murphy, who went 2 for 5 in game 1. A double, a home run, and he drove in 2. Gibson goes to the plate. Murphy lines it to left. Hayes will make the catch, and Acuna will go back and did not throw to first. And I'm not going to try to steal Acuna until he can throw to first. Here's Matt Olson. Matt 3 for 7 in game 1. 2 singles and a double. A walk and 2 strikeouts. He throws to first finally, and Acuna Matata is back. And now we steal. Royschman throws down to Mateo, and Acuna has his second stolen bases and move the mouse back. Someone asked why I didn't go back and delete the play which I accidentally had Acuna try to steal home. First of all, I don't have that set up in Action PC. I do in Strat because I manually enter things. But here, no. And I am also a big believer in the Carol Burnett and Johnny Carson way of doing these things, which is you do it live, you do it once. It goes on tape, you make a mistake, you own up to it, and you play on. So 1 strike count to Olson. Here's a ground ball to Mateo. He was on the grass, has to do a bang banger. Olson can run, and he beat it out. So an infield hit. First and third, 1 out for Ozzie Albies, who went 1 for 7 in game 1. Grounded into a double play, which is what Kyle Gibson needs here. A walk and a strikeout. Gibson's pitch. It might be 2 here. Westberg will try to get it. Acuna will score. Mateo for 1. And Albies, does he beat the throw? Or was there even a throw? There was no throw. And so it's 1-0 Atlanta, 2 out. For Marcelo Zuna, 3 for 6. He singled 3 times in game 1. Walked twice and struck out twice. Gibson's pitch popped up left side. Hayes, that's going back further than I thought, but he'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. All that, the Braves only get one on 2 hits. They leave a runner on. After 1-0 Atlanta. So Adley Reichman will lead off here for Baltimore with Mountcastle and Hayes to follow. Adley, 2 for 6, or Adley, in game 1. He singled twice and struck out twice. Fried starts the second. Strike 3. Max got him to chase a fastball in a 1-2. So here's Ryan Mountcastle. He went 1 for 6, struck out 3 times, but his one hit was a double and a run scored. Ground ball to third, and Riley can't play it. That's going to be that's even more because Mountcastle has 2. That went under the glove of Riley. He went to put it down, and the ball never just kind of hopped the other way. And by the time that Riley realized he didn't have it, Mountcastle was halfway to second. So the tying run, 1 out in scoring position for Austin Hayes, who homered in game 1, 1 for 4. Drove in 2. There's a liner to left that's going to drop in front of Ozuna. Mountcastle will round third. And as Ozuna, they got a good chance to get him. Mountcastle goes to throw to Murphy. Not in time. Hayes moves on to second, and the Orioles have tied this game at 1. So in 17 and a half innings, Atlanta has scored 7 runs and Baltimore 6. Here's Jordan Westburg. Did not start game 1, 0 for 1, 260 on the real year, 3 homers and 23 RBI. Into right center. In comes Harris. He'll ride to Schwinn, makes the catch. And Hayes goes back to the bag. 2 out for Mateo, who went 0 for 7. Imagine playing a 16-inning game. How'd you do? Well, I went 0 for 7. To third, Riley will throw it over to Olsen, and that will retire the side. The error is costly as the run scores. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error. We go to the bottom of the second here in game 2. It's the Orioles 1, the Braves 1. So Riley 1 for 6 in game 1, with Harris and Arcia to follow. Gibson starts the second. There's a liner to left that will drop in front of Hayes. Gibson doesn't seem to have all that much. Here's Harris the second, 3 for 7. A double, an RBI, a run scored. He struck out 3 times. Gibson, deep breath. This might be 2. Ground ball to Mateo. He only has a shot at first, and Harris beat it out. So an infield hit. Harris has very good speed, and there really wasn't anything Mateo could do. So first and second, nobody out. That's already 4 hits for Atlanta. Arcia 1 for 8 with 2 strikeouts in game 1. He hits that one to Gibson. Westburg for 1 and Mountcastle for 2. So Gibson, his own best friend there, starts the double play, 2 out. For Rosario, who was 2 for 5, he has singled twice, scored twice, and struck out in game 1. Riley on third. 1-1 to score. And there's a line drive, first base side, out of play. Some guy by the name of Martin from Marietta made the catch. And the count is 0-2. Gibson hasn't struck anybody out through an inning and 2/3. Won't this time fly ball to right. Santander, that will stay nicely in the yard. And that will retire the side. Atlanta got 2 hits and couldn't get anything in after 2, 1-1. So Fried's opening 9, 27 pitches, 2 innings, 2 hits. The run is not earned, and 2 strikeouts. Aaron Hicks is 0 for 1. No doubleheader today. Well, I hope not. I mean, I wasn't supposed to do a doubleheader Friday. Top the third, 1-1 to score. Hicks, base hit left center field. Harris will pick it up. And that's a single. We'll see what the Strat Baseball Max offering is. And if it's something I think that can be shown off, we might do a video on that later. Urias singled his first time up. Hicks not a threat to steal. Fried's pitch. Up the box, might be two. It's a slow bounder. Arcia's only play is to first, and Urias beat it out. So another infield hit in the ball game. In fact, both these teams have 4 hits. There's nobody out here in the third, and here's Gunnar. 0 for 1 today. First time he didn't strike out or reach. Fried, wind now blowing in from right, barely at 2. Heavy skies, but no rain here in suburban Atlanta. Pitch to Gunnar. Might be 2. All bees. Nope, it plays Ozzy, and everybody's safe. It is a game that you can play online, Zalapsky. Subscription-based game. I think you're close, though. Although on the 2 screenies I've seen, or the screenshot I saw this morning, it was 2 teams from 69 playing each other. But I don't think you're that far off a Strat 365 type deal. Although they were actually playing the game, it looked like. Santander struck out his first time up. There's a fly ball, left field. Harris will reach over and grab it. That should be deep enough to score Hicks. Aaron will hold with 1 out. Wow, he did not tag. That was deep enough, too. Here's Reuschmann. He's struck out his first time up. Pitch from Fried. That's into center field. Harris doesn't even have to move. Hicks needs to score here, you would think. And he does. And the throw goes in the infield, and the Orioles go up 2-1. So here's Mountcastle. Ryan reached on an error and scored in the second. So Urias on second, Henderson on first. Fried's pitch. Mountcastle pops this one up, left side. Arcia, they're not calling an infield fly rule at night, and he'll make the catch. There's 2 out anyway. A run on 2 hits in there. I didn't get in trouble with Taylor Swift's people, but there are people who listen to the show who really don't want to hear about Travis Kelce's girlfriend. And the honest answer is just shake it off. And I can see, but yes, I had a commenter get on me for that. So after 2.5, a run for the Orioles. They take the lead, 2 hits and an error. Bottom 3, 2-1 Baltimore. So top of the order for Atlanta, Acuna, Murphy, and Olsen. Ronald singled, stole a base, did not try to steal home, and scored. Gibson starts the third. Fly ball, left field. Hayes, that's well hit, but will stay. Yeah, I got grief for that. Steeler fan says the announcement was due to be made 15 minutes ago. Too much website traffic. Okay. Gibson's opening 10, 36 pitches, 2 1/3, 4 hits. And the run was earned. Sean Murphy's 0 for 1. That's okay. You don't want to cause trouble. All right, Zalapsky, who you rooting for, Montreal or Winnipeg? Pitch to Murph. There's a liner in the center field. Now drop in front of Hicks. I can count on Strat. Yeah. Here's Olsen, 1 for 1. I give them credit. Olsen singled his first time up. They've created a buzz. Even if it is just a rebrand of 365, they've created a buzz with this. And that's not something that you really see. Oh, you're an Argos guy. I'm talking about the Grey Cup. Jamie says you probably have to refinance the house to sign up for Strat Max. I'm kind of hoping that it's two different colors. Like another Max I know. The Grey Cup, Canada's football championship between Montreal Alouettes and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Pitch to Olsen. There's a fly ball to right. Santander will go back and make the catch. Murph goes back to first. So Gibson kind of settling in here. Can't use Cano. I had to look it up. I suppose that Cano is going to be Baltimore's closer. Here's Ozzie Albies. Reached on a fielder's choice and drove in a run. This time around, a ground ball to Westberg. Jordan's got it, throws to first, and that is the inning. No runs, a hit. No, the Braves have left on 3. After 3, Baltimore 2, Atlanta 1. Winnipeg is who Zalapsky Smurf is rooting for because their head coach and GM went to the university that he went to at the same time. All right, video pretty much from one subscription every season with a card image. Play replays, draft leagues, etc., but with a modern software package. Is this a download or a web-based game? John says, my love for the game overpowers your frustration with the company. Tried other games, but you just, nope, no one can seem to quit Strat. See, RJ, was playing Strat last night. Austin Hayes, by the way, single. RBI for Baltimore. Fried starts the 4th. Struck him out. And 0-2 fastball got him swinging. Okay, so that's the game changer, JB, that we talked about. It's web-based, but you can play on your computer, your tablet, or your phone. Now, how much a month? Here's Westberg. Jordan is 0 for 1. Struck him out. That's 4 for free. 2 out here. Full count fastball. Sounds very Steam-like. A Steam table or a Steam the games? Here's Jorge Mateo. He's 0 for 1. Free deals. Mateo line drive to Arcia, and that'll do it. So the Orioles go in order here in the 4th. Oh, by the way, this one's been a pretty good series so far. 2-1 Baltimore, bottom 4. So Atlanta won 6-5 in game 1. And this is game 2. That's what John says, hope they have the server to handle it. Me too. I know they constantly have problems. He says they constantly have problems with the card app. Jamie says no price, but taking early signups to get on the beta. Oh, okay. From a video game kind of looks, yeah, looks like the game tracker from MLB.com is how that looks. So there's no product to be bought today. Pitch to Ozuna. There's a ground ball left side. Hayes will pick it up. So Atlanta starts the 4th with a single. That's their 6th hit. Gibson's numbers don't look sexy, but he's on the right end of a 2-1 score. Here's Riley. He singled his first time up. Austin, that's a ground ball past Mateo, and the Braves have runners on first and second. Nobody out. Gibson needs another ground ball here. Michael Harris singled. He's 1 for 1. Ozuna and Riley have average speed. And that's laced into center field. That'll be Hicks. Ozuna will try to get ahead around third. But Hicks is in a good position, and Ozuna will hold. So bases loaded. Nobody out for Arcia, who grounded into a double play his first time up. 2-1, bases loaded, Baltimore leads. No price yet, non-available. Sure price, Jamie's guessing 20-ish a month. Interesting that they would have signups for a public beta. I like that. That's actually quite smart. Arcia draws the walk. Ozuna will score, and the game is tied. So 2-2 here in the fourth for Rosario, who was 0 for 1. Struck him out. That came at a pretty critical time for Kyle Gibson. An 0-2 fastball, strike 3 looking. So Acuna at the plate, opening 18, 62 pitches for Kyle. 3 1/3, 8 hits, a walk and a strikeout. Acuna 1 for 2, stolen a base and scored. One lung gets you a year, Steeler fan says. One lobe gets you 3 months. Acuna draws the bases loaded walk, and we're going to go get Gibson. So it's 3-2. They're still loaded. You don't want this one to get away. And my goodness. I guess we go with John Means. Actually, you know what? No, you need a pitcher now. I think if they had to close, they would have to go with Tyler Wells. The joys of a 16-inning game. John Means started 4 times for the Orioles. Going to work in relief here in game 2. He's 29, fastball at 89. 1-2 with a 2.66 ERA. In 23 2/3, Means one of the rare people who smiles for his DMV picture. 13 hits, 4 homers, 4 walks, and 10 strikeouts. The fact the website doesn't work for the announcement doesn't bode well for the game itself. Depends on how much. Yeah. Again, they created the buzz. I'm really surprised they did that, though, for a game that's essentially in a public beta. Here's Sean Murphy, 1 for 2 with a single. Braves have 2 in here in the fourth. They lead at 3-2. Means starts his game with a high fly ball, center field. Hicks, as my computer slows way down, makes the catch. Harris will tag and score, and it's 4-2 Atlanta. The GPU is like running a ton. Computer itself there. Overall, Jamie says it seems to more target online league players. I think Zalapsky Smurf hit it on the head. A rebrand of 365. I think for those who draft leagues, it'll be really big. Depends on what you can do with it. Obviously, having every card there will matter. If it syncs up, depends on how can you do AI games, and will it keep the stats? Here's Olsen. He's 1 for 2. Matt has a single in this ball game. First and second, 2 out. Means delivers, and there's a fly ball to right. Santander will grab it, and that will retire the side. The Braves, however, get 3 on 3 hits. They leave on 2. We go to the fifth here in game number 2. It's Atlanta 4, Baltimore 2. You can play versus the AI, okay? But can you play other games in the background? Oh, can do AI and AI general. Okay. Can do AI games and AI general managers. It really does sound like a rebrand of 365. Is that how they're phrasing it? So here's Hicks. By the way, Max Fried trying to get the win here in game 2. 63 pitches through 18 batters, 4 innings, 4 hits, and 4 strikeouts. None of the runs are earned. Aaron Hicks is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. Struck him out. That's 5 for Fried. 365 can be for a number of years. It's you can choose your season in baseball, Max. JB says it seems to do everything that 365 and the Windows game does, although the video said it's not replacing the Windows game. Wonder if the question was asked if you already own the season, you probably won't be able to link it with your Windows game. Urias, by the way, 2 for 2. He is single twice. And Ramon punches that one into right field for a base hit. And he is 3 for 3. So here's Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar is 0 for 2. Urias not a threat to steal. Fried and Murphy rework the signs. And there's a ground ball to Olsen. They might get... No, Olsen takes it to the bag himself. Urias goes to second. Although in 2023, they got these little things the catchers have on their wrist, which tells the pitcher what they want them to throw and where they want them to throw it. Kind of like the quarterback and the linebacker in the NFL with the radio helmets. Here's Santander. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Fried deals. Struck him out. Max has fanned 6. We're halfway through game number 2. It's Atlanta 4, Baltimore 2. Joining us late, here's how we got here. Atlanta has a lead 4-2 halfway through game 2 of our traditional World Series on a 36-degree day here in Burlington. In the first, Ozzie Albies hit into a fielder's choice, 1-0 Atlanta. Baltimore got a single from Austin Hayes in the second to make it 1-1. In the third, Haley Reuschman has sac fly to make it 2-1. Then Atlanta chased starter Kyle Gibson in the fourth. They got 3 runs in, a bases loaded walk to Orlando Arcia, then another bases loaded walk to Ronald Acuna, and then Sean Murphy a sac fly to make it 4-2. I'm going to read this because we're going on at the same time as the Baseball Max release video from Stratomatic. Jamie doesn't think that the seasons will connect with your game based on Strat's traditional pricing in the past. But to give you access to a game in every season from 1871 to the present, be very expensive relative to what you want, of course. Oh, pitching wise, Gibson 3 1/3, 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1. Means in long relief. Max Fried 5-hitter through 5 and 2 earned runs. He struck out 6. So it'll be Albies, Ozuna, and Riley to face Means here in the 5th. Ozzie 0 for 2 with an RBI. Here's a fly ball, left center field. Hicks moving over. 1 out. I would think that it would depend on what you get for the base. It sounds like that they're kind of combining the card app. How you doing, Mike from the truck? The card app and 365. Here's Ozuna 1 for 2. With a single and a run scored. Of course, if Strat was to do this with their other sports, we were talking about this on the show. I mean, this potentially is a game changer if it works. But anyone that would do this with football. Pitch to Ozuna. Struck him out. First from Means, a 1-2 curve in there at the knee, strike 3. Here's Austin Riley 2 for 2. Austin has singled twice. Nice to see that Mike from the truck was not kidnapped by the Goodyear blimp yesterday. Riley, a ground ball to Means, takes it to the bag himself, and a race, and Riley beat it out. The play is under review, and Baltimore reviewed it. I do not because it's 2023, so that's what it was. It was a close play. But goodness gracious, why didn't Means underhand it to Mountcastle? It was a close play for sure. But Means, instead of having the foot race, looked like he beat him, but ruling on the field stands, 2 out. Here's Harris. He singled twice and scored. Struck him out. So all for naught. No runs are hit. The Braves have left on 6. We go to the 6th here in game 2. Atlanta 4, Baltimore 2. So Fried probably one more inning. And if Atlanta's pen is as tired as Baltimore's, they might stretch him into the 7th. Here's Royschman. Ailey struck out, driven in a run. Fried starts the 6th. Base hit, right center field. Harris quickly throws it back in, but that's a single. 6th hit for the Birdies. Here's Mountcastle. 0 for 2 with a run scored. These two teams will have a day off tomorrow, literally and figuratively, and game 3 will be Wednesday at noon Eastern from Baltimore. And one of the rare times ever that we'll be showing off Camden Yards, the default stadium here, for Action PC Baseball. Pitch to Mountcastle. There's a ground ball to Arcia. They might get 2 here. Albies for 1. Ozzie flips over to first, and they do. So 6-4-3, and Fried has 2 outs and nobody on here in the 6th. For Austin Hayes, who's 1 for 2. Has singled, driven in a run, and struck out. Hayes fouls it off, and the count is 0-2. Got him. 7 for Max as we head to the bottom of the 6th. No runs are hit. Erased on the double play after 5.5. Atlanta 4, Baltimore 2. So Arcia, Rosario, and Acuna Jr. to face John, don't call me Natron means business. Arcia 0 for 1. Is grounded into a double play and walked. John's pitch. Right back to Means. This time he throws to first for the out. 1 away. Here's Rosario. Eddie is 0 for 2. Lefty versus lefty. We don't want to use Darno. We'll go with Pilar. They had the righty matchup, although I'm not sure that worked. Pilar went 0 for 3 in game 1 with a strikeout. Chopper to second. Westberg on the grass has it for the out. 2 away for Acuna Jr. Ronald 1 for 2 in game 2. He does have an RBI, a single, a run scored, and a stolen base. There's a high fly ball, center field, back goes Hicks, but Aaron will keep that in the yard, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, Atlanta 4, Baltimore 2. So Strat's announcement is it's Baseball Max, and it seems to be a combination of like a 3 is in a beta. Any platform, any season, any time. Exhibition games, historical leagues, draft leagues, all-star games, and more. All in quotes. And it's an open beta, right? Jordan Westberg, by the way, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Fried starts the 7th. Fly ball, right field. Acuna will make the catch. 1 out. Here's Jorge Mateo. He is 0 for 2. Not sure you can get access. You just sign up to get access, which I'll be doing later. So there's no product to actually try out today, but you can sign up for the beta. Mateo draws a walk. So the number 9 hitter is on for Aaron Hicks. 1 for 3, a run scored and a strikeout. Fried, 27 batters, 6 1/3, 6 hits, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. And Fried says, if you don't need me, I'd rather not. And we could actually use Darius Vines again. So I'm going to let him pitch one more batter here. I can use Iglesias. Jesse Chavez would be who I would go with next. But I want to hold Iglesias. So let's see what happens with Hicks, who's 1 for 3. A strikeout and a run scored. First, a throw to first, and Mateo is back. So Fried pretty much running on fumes here. Hicks the tying run at the plate. He sends this one into left field. Down in the corner, Ozuna is there. And Marcel makes the catch. Mateo goes back. Jamie says watching the video as he listens to me reminds you a little of OOTP as far as having all the leagues built into the game. It looks like you select a gear and go. Pick the team or teams you want to control, etc. But it's web-based and not its own download, right? Urias, by the way, is 3 for 3. Has singled 3 times. Again, the throw to first, and Mateo is back. All right. So Fried, last batter, probably on their way. 2 out here in the 7th in a 4-2 ball game. Pitch to Urias. Ground ball to Arcia. He'll go to Albies for the easy out, and it's stretch time. Cionel Perez out to pitch. 4-2, Atlanta. Let's tell you about Cionel Perez. He went 1/3 of an inning and allowed 3 hits in game 1. He's 26, an extreme ground ball pitcher and a fastball at 91. Murphy, Olsen, and Albies to face him in the 7th. Sean 1 for 2, a single and RBI. Steeler fan says on the surface it's not likely to interest him. Only thing that might hook me is something like a digital dice draft league. You can have a mix of human and AI managers. I think that is where that game is going to shine. Pitch to Murphy. Ground ball to Mountcastle. 1 out. The website being down, could they be updating, or the site is being flooded with people looking for an announcement? I guess you are signing up for a beta. I don't know how much bandwidth Strat has. Again, they've generated a lot of interest. Matt Olson 1 for 3 with a single. Just from reading what you guys have said as we've gone through the last 43 minutes or so, it looks like they are trying their best to hit all their key markets. Draft leagues especially. I think 365 does okay. Be curious. I'm sure Strat doesn't have the access to the data centers that Twitter does. Interesting if they continue 365 at this point. The fact that you can play anywhere. Pitch to Olsen. Ball 4. And I think it's kind of a future-proof thing. It's going to be easier to push updates through to a subscription service. And we all have our share of subscription services, whether it's music through Spotify or SiriusXM or Netflix or stuff like that. Here's Albies. Ozzy's 0 for 3 with an RBI. Yeah, I don't see this being a downfall unless the actual release, and it doesn't work. But I think since Adam Richmond has taken over the day-to-day things with Stratomatic, that they've done a lot of things right. They don't pay me to say that either. Pitch to Albies is a ground ball to third. Gunnar Henderson has it. He's only got to play at first, and he has to hurry. Mountcastle gets up the glove, and he's in there. So Albies is out. Olsen on second. 2 out for Ozuna, who was 1 for 3. He has singled, struck out, and scored. And there's a liner into left center field. Hayes will pick it up. Olsen not blessed with great speed. He rounds third and will score without a throw. So it's now 5-2 Atlanta with 2 out here in the 7th. For Austin Riley, who is 3 for 3. 3 singles and a run scored. And this effort by the Orioles and Braves certainly showing the fatigue of last night's, or Game 1, 16-inning affair. Jamie says, Strat League players, I'm sure, make up a huge part of their customer base, especially PC. This looks really good for that. But for replayers, you can have access to 150 years of baseball. But if you only like to play 20 of those years, will it still be worth paying for it? Like cable TV, 300 channels, but watching 10. That's true, and Mike says people will be more forgiving with the teething troubles of a launch with Strat, hopefully, versus, say, like a major title like EA deliberately pushing a product to market to meet deadline, or Paradox, versus when it's actually ready. And Steeler fan says, Ron is a model and an actor. Well, I'm not a model. I don't even play one on TV. But this is not a paid endorsement. And don't go to Colonial Penn. 2 out here in the 7th. Ozuna on first. Riley into right center. Hicks coming in. Rides the Schwinn. Makes the catch. And that'll do it. So after 7, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. And I promise Game 3 will be closer to a traditional baseball broadcast. 5-2 Braves, however, here. It will be Jesse Chavez here in the 8th. Chavez is 39. Fastball at 88. 36 games for Atlanta. 1-0 with a save and an earned run average of 156. 34 2/3, 26 hits, 2 homers, 12 walks, and 39 strikeouts. Gunnar Henderson 0 for 3. Iglesias stirring in the Atlanta pen. And Henderson homers to right. An absolute no-doubter off the brick in the chop house, and it's 5-3. So the American League Rookie of the Year goes kaboom. Just rip that one to right. My goodness. So the Orioles, they don't want to get into another 16-inning game. I have no one left to pitch. Here's Santander. He's 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Ron, yes. Is it easier to set up a game in a league with Action PC Baseball versus OTP? Much. Much, much, much. You install the season. You either start from wherever you want on the schedule or from there an exhibition game. Yes. Buy Action PC Baseball, $20. Then you can get the full upgrade for next year. There's a lot of good things about OOTP. I don't want to say that there's not, but if you're more of a replayer than a baseball sandbox type of guy, yeah, I mean, so says the person who's done about 700 streams playing Action PC Baseball. Santander hits a fly ball to shallow right. That's going to drop in front of Acuna. So the Orioles have the tying run at the plate and nobody out. Brady Roishman, who's 1 for 2, a single, an RBI, and a strikeout. Yeah, Action PC, I think, would be what you're looking for. All the Action PC games are accurate. Although I know the guy that does seasons for a game called Pro Strategy Football. Oh, here's a question for you. I don't know if you know the answer to this, Mike, or not. Pitch to Reuschmann. Struck him out. Chavez finally gets it out on a 2-2 fastball. He chased one out of the zone. Here's Mountcastle 0 for 3. A run scored and grounded into a double play. Do offenses get tired? Got him. That's 2 for Chavez. A full count curveball in there for strike 3. So here's Hayes. Austin 1 for 3. A single and an RBI. He has struck out twice. The Orioles hanging in here in game 2, but the Braves lead it 5-3. Chavez is going to have to wait a minute as Ryan O'Hearn will pinch. No, not if it's a 272. We'll override it. Hayes, ground ball to Arcia. He goes to Albies, and we go to the 9th. 5-3. Or bottom of the 8th. Bruce Zimmerman will pitch for Baltimore. Offenses do get tired. Okay. Steeler fan loving front office football 9. Were you must have been over on the old board, front office football central. So Zimmerman, this looks like a disaster waiting to happen, but again, with game 1 going 16 and pitchers don't go through there. Strat and Twitch use the same server. You just got your audio back after about 10 minutes. Bruce is 27, fastball at 88, and a fly ball pitcher. 2-0, a 4.73. I think you just lurked there as you're currently doing, okay? Players will have a bar beneath them. Yep, green, yellow, and red. Okay, on running backs and receivers. I had another blowout, which is why I asked. 88 Bengals and Jets, and after the Jets got exhausted, the Bengals just pounded the ever-loving daylights out of them. Now, hopefully at some point I'll actually do a football game that goes 4 quarters. But the Bengals, after a while, is hot knife through butter. A lot of it was they could keep the ball on the field, and the Jets just got rocked back on their heels. So we'll see. This does not look like a good matchup for the Orioles. Harris is 2 for 3. He has singled twice, struck out, and driven it and scored. Ground ball, Westberg by the bag over to Mountcastle, 1 out. Orioles need a quick inning here. Here's Arcia. Orlando's 0 for 2. An RBI and a run scored. Yeah, the Bengals are one of, if not the best team for that year. They are so good. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. For Baltimore, they've left on 7. The Braves, 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, and they've left on 7. Zimmerman's pitch. Arcia in the left center field. Back goes Hicks. 2 out for Kevin Pillar, who is 0 for 1. So it'll be probably pinch hitter, and Hicks to face Iglesias in the 9th as the Braves try to go to Baltimore up 2-0. Pillar, fly ball left field, so Zimmerman got the 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the 9th. It's Atlanta 5, Baltimore 3. Russian Reb, yep, we've been talking about Strat Max for the last hour or so. Basil Iglesias, who got a save, or did not get a save, he pitched an inning in game 1. So we'll see what they do here. Westberg 0 for 3. The Orioles need 2 to tie and 3 to go ahead. Yeah, Mr. Reb, what's got you excited about that? And Adam Frazier's going to pinch hit, which we figured. Frazier went 0 for 7 in game 1 with a strikeout. Iglesias deals. Slow ground ball to Albies in on the grass over to first. 1 out. Yeah, I think that's kind of the hope, Mike, is that if they can do this with all their sports, they'll own the industry. Absolutely own the industry. So here's Mateo. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Stays in the game. Fly ball left center field. Harris moving over. And it's last chance saloon for Baltimore. So Iglesias has retired both of his batters on 5 pitches combined. Aaron Hicks 1 for 4. A single, a run scored, and a strikeout. Game 3 from Baltimore, Wednesday at noon Eastern. That's true. If you can roll your own dice, it is a home run. And that's the one thing I would like to do in all the Strat games. Pitch to Hicks is ball 4. So the tying run comes to the plate. And Ramon Urias, who is not a home run hitter, but he's 3 for 4 today with 3 singles. And if he should reach, Gunnar Henderson, who homered in the 8th, is on deck. So it's not celebration time in Atlanta quite yet. 51 degrees, so cool but not as cold as it was the other night. Iglesias deals. Strike 3. The Braves win this one 5-3. A good one here. 3 hours and 6 fake minutes. The Braves win the first 2. You too, John. 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors that leave on 7. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Baltimore, and they left on 8. So Fried gets the win. 7 innings, a 7 strikeout ball. We'll give him the Digital Dice MVP. Chavez and Iglesias do the work. Baltimore 2 2/3 from Means, and that will mean a lot because their best pitchers didn't pitch today. They'll be on 2 days rest. So that'll do it for today. We'll talk to you Wednesday for Game 3 in Baltimore. The final score here: the Braves 2, the Braves 5, the Orioles 3. They lead the series 2 games to none. So long, everybody.